Hey guys, thanks for joining me for yet another episode. So, today's episode, I'm going to talk about rediscovering ourselves, just rediscovering who you are. And this can resonate with anybody that is feeling lost and lacks sense of fulfillment. Like, chances are that you are essentially feeling like a victim of forces within your life. So, just the life happens, different things that's going into your life, like you can feel that more. You can change this by getting to know yourself better. And this strengthens your connection with your true self, which will help you feel a little bit greater sense of inner well being. And it can offer you direction on how to find personal fulfillment. So, within this episode, I just want to touch base on 5 different domains of getting more in tune or rediscovering who we are. Because we never who we are yesterday or a year ago. Every day we are changing. Every day we are evolving into the better versions of ourselves. So it's time to get more in tune with those different domains. The sensations, the thoughts, emotions, the actions, and the mentalization or the mentalizing of it. So first I want to touch base just on the sensations of it. Like, what do you sense in your body? So the big focus is like being connected with your true self involves being connected with your physical self. So people who disconnect from their inner selves often sometimes disconnect from their bodily experiences. And that is important to me, and that's important in our self-care, because we neglect to feel what we feel when we are feeling it. And when I say that, that could just be that feeling in the pit of your stomach, that tightness in your chest, you getting teary-eyed, like different things of that nature we can ignore. And sometimes that's just pretty much us not being true to who we are, not being true to ourselves. So we have to pay attention to that, because as we learn to attend to our body, we almost notice that it opens us up to a greater awareness of our inner experiences, especially our emotions. And a lot of us during this journey, like, we don't want to feel what we feel because we are in fear of it'll take us back to that moment in time, or to take us back to that particular feeling or how we felt at that moment. And sometimes we have to feel that. We have to go back in order to grow from it. We don't have to stay there, but we have to feel how we feel at that moment in order to get better and in order to understand ourselves, to not want to feel that way again. Like our thoughts. What are our thoughts? When people think all the time, their thoughts can seem to have a life of its own, flowing through your mind in ways that are often rambling, conflicted, and sometimes not particularly coherent. And y'all know that everybody does that. Our mind can have a mind of its own. That's why I say it's so important to have that healthy mindset, to have that strong mental state, because we can take a small situation and we can blow it up. Our mind can tell us stories that possibly ain't even happening, and we gonna take it and we gonna run with that. So it's good to understand our true self and get these thoughts together, because if not, we can get lost in all the activity when they don't even reflect on our thoughts, appraising which ones that we believe. We can question it and we can pursue that question. And then guess what happened? Like, we doing stuff that we shouldn't be doing. And then we can end up being unsure of what we think or even who we are. Like, feeling that uncertainty and realizing like that ain't even who I am. How many people say that ain't even who I am? Why did I do that? I just blew up for no reason because we let our thoughts consume us. So it's like reflecting on our thoughts allows us to identify which one resonates or expressing our true self. So even when they are conflicting, confusing, or in any way not fully understood, like, when you pursue the ones that you connect with, you will be on the path of fulfillment. So you have to narrow that down to which one you resonate with, which one's like, oh, you made me angry, but this is why. So when you break that down and understand that, you won't react a certain way because your mind ain't taking you to somewhere that it shouldn't be taken to. It's all about understanding you, understanding your true self. That way you could protect yourself and you could speak calm to yourself, and you don't have to run with those thoughts that not resonate with you. Like, and next is our emotions. Like, what are we feeling? So people often have many emotions at the same time, just as they do thoughts. Some of those emotions will conflict, such as when you have bittersweet memories or playing with a friend or uncle, a aunt, like your mom, your dad, who sadly died last year, or who you stopped talking to, or who you haven't talked to in years. You may also find that when you pause to an to an experience of emotions, another emotion emerges. This goes back to my childhood trauma phase. When you have unresolved emotions that you never faced, it can fester off of the new trauma or emotions that you are experiencing currently, and they go with each other. They feed off each other's. Like, for instance, anger is often a defense response to feelings hurt, betrayed, or disrespect. The more fully you can acknowledge, accept, and tolerate and befriend your emotions, the more you can allow yourself to experience them rather than defend against them. You can then be more open to experience them as a true expression of your inner experience. So when you are rediscovering who you are, it's not saying neglect your emotions. I'm not saying don't be angry, don't be sad. What I'm saying is understanding them so that you can wear them proudly in a different manner. You feeling angry, you don't always have to blow up, or you can express how you feel, but express it in a way that they will understand. But if they don't understand, at least you know that you got that off your chest, and that is what it is. Like, you not letting it, you got it off of you. Like, you said what you had to say, and that was that. If somebody betrayed you, guess what? They have to deal with that betrayal, especially if you know who you are and you know what you brought to that table. Like, you could walk away proudly. You betrayed me, or you disrespected me. Your disrespect for me is pretty much your respect level for yourself or any other person out there. And most people that are disrespectful and stuff is because they feel in a type of way for their own self. That's just my opinion on this. But your journey will take time, courage, and faith that you will be stronger for the experience. That's why we pray, we meditate, we have our yoga sessions, we do them things because it takes strength and courage to get to a certain level. That's why this is an everyday process. You can't do this overnight. You have to work on this every single day, and that's okay. We start over every day. It's just like forgiving somebody. When you forgive somebody, you forgive them, but every day you have to remember that you forgave this person for something. So it takes that faith, that time, that courage. And it makes you stronger when you think about it. When you get to a certain level, you just wake up just happy. Like, it's that courage. It's that fulfillment of meeting that goal. So we have to keep working on it. Your actions, what are your actions and your reactions? It's like, notice how your actions affect your thoughts and feelings. For instance, you might realize that by facing your fear or asking your friend or whomever the question that you always wanted to ask them, you realize you can be more assertive than you thought you could be. You might realize that your true self can be more courageous and assertive than previously thought. You ever got something off your chest and realize, like, let me just ask this question? Because what's the worst they can say? No. At least you asked. And then you felt good about that. Because what's better than not knowing is knowing. No matter what the response is, you got it out. They responded, and that was just that. But it is important to notice your reactions to positive circumstances. Like if you want to feel fulfilled in this life, it's essential to recognize those actions that make you feel fulfilled, and and then you can pursue those. So look at the positive aspect of things. Look at what makes you feel whole, and then run with that. But you also have to understand and know how to take rejection at times, because everybody is not going to accept all that you have to offer. And that's just life, and that's just people. Because just like you are, you have the freedom of to say yes or no, so does the next person too. And mentalizing, like, do you really get what's going on in you or others? Like, you have to get yourself. And it's about extending that grace not only to yourself but to others, and understand what they're going on. Like, mentalizing is a psychological term that means understanding in your mind and connecting in your heart with what is motivating yourself or someone else. Y'all can have two different motivations. Y'all can have two different reasons for doing the same job. Y'all can have two different goals for reaching, but y'all in the same position, or just relationships, friendships, like many things of that nature. And that could be as simple as knowing someone is really listening to you because you see them nodding or maintaining eye contact as you talk. And I always ask people this question, like, are you listening to respond, or are you listening to understand? Because you have a lot of people that listen to respond to you versus understanding. And you would know if they are understanding everything you're saying because it's the feedback. And most people will just say it back to you in that aspect of it. Like, strengthening your ability to mentalize yourself and others is essential in discovering your true self, because it helps you to understand and connect with what you are truly experiencing. So most of the things that's about rediscovering yourself on all levels is just truly understanding who you are, truly understanding your likes, your dislikes, not what this other person may like or what they may dislike. Is specifically about you. You have to dig deep and rediscover every aspect of you. What makes you angry and why? So that way you won't put yourself in that situation. Why do you get angry when nobody agrees with you? Why do you get angry when somebody get angry at you for doing what you did? So you have to understand it from two points of view. Like, sometimes you can't just live life or walk through life out of a sense of not holding yourself accountable to your role in a lot of things. Please go back to my yesterday's episode as I focused on accountability. So the big part of rediscovering yourself is rediscovering who you are at that moment. Not who you were, but who you are right now. So my take back from this episode is stay true to you. Don't let nobody else tell you how you should act, how you should feel, how you should look. Because we are all on a different path. Or I take that back. We all on the same path, but a different journey. And understanding your true self and understanding what you want out of life, building, making those goals and doing those things, you don't want to revert back to what you didn't like about yourself. You want to keep pushing forward. So working on these things, understanding your true self, understanding your emotions, mentalizing your thoughts, your actions and your thoughts and your sensation all coincides together. They one and the same. Everything is mental. Everything is focused on becoming mentally strong within yourself, controlling your actions. I don't care what Bobby over there doing. All I care about is what I'm doing over here. And that's what we need to focus on moving forward during this journey, because we all are doing the best we can every day. But as long as you're not giving up, you all right with me. Thank y'all for listening to this episode today. I appreciate it. Until next time.